Hello everyone, Sunson2, welcome to another mod overview, this time on AE2 Unlimited Channels. A mod that simply adds the ability for AE to now have no limitations in terms of channels. It just has an unlimited number now, per devices, and cable and so on. So yeah, for the most part, if you went with sort of a typical, you would have it where, at least visually I'm assuming for comparison, you would have it where it shows up to 8 for example, and it's just eventually showing off those that it can actually count. Whilst the others, it just sort of shows, nope, you can't actually count any of these channels as options that are connected. So yeah, so there's obviously not enough channels to fit all of these interfaces, as you can see here. Now if I go to my infinite one, it seems to have it where it will show 8 channels along all of these, instead of it just being the one. So obviously I've got a lot more blocks here placed, or certain things it can interact with, compared to here where it's obviously a lot less, but there's still more than 8. But it seems to be that it shows, obviously, if there's more than 8 channels, it'll still have it where it's a valid option to still be, you know, connected to the system, or still able to fit on the channel. Whilst here it just shows the 8 consistently around it, or through it, and then eventually, see, once it gets to the lowest point, then yeah. You obviously don't have Weiler enabled for this sort of instance compared to the other one, but yeah, it'll show pretty much consistently the 8 throughout here, but you're not restricted to the limit that there is. Same with here, as you can see with some of these. It'll sort of show, obviously, there's the following here, and then eventually you'll get it to where obviously it breaks it down a bit more. Obviously you've got less and less showing there, unless that is possibly only applied to the smart cable rather than the dense smart cable. I'm not too sure, because it's obviously a lot further out there, and this obviously can hold a lot more channels than the regular smart one. But yeah, that seems to be the case. I don't know the exact way to justify that it can obviously deal with that many, but we'll just see by, I guess, maybe importing a bunch of stuff, I guess is a way I could do it. I don't know for sure. It's been a while since I've used AE properly, and I keep moving stuff out, I don't know why. So for example, we'll just put in a bunch of random stuff. It'll do that for me. Doesn't seem to... okay, I'm going too fast for it, that's why. Yeah, I'm just going too fast for it. So let's go to the next one. Let's do that, for example, and we'll just do this. Do this. That's a config, we don't want that. That's not going to import it for us. Okay, so that's actually an import thing. Oh well. Either way, if I were to actually, like, for example, how would I do that? Get a chest and import, for example. I don't know, any chest will work, I guess. Let's just do those. Actually, let's just for cells. We'll just get an import bus. Do this. Get an actual chest, and we'll just do that because why not? I guess that could work. We'll see. Nope. No, I need that. Oh, it's not going to, is it? Ah, right. I need to put it on that side, don't I? Yep. So do this and this and this, and we'll do a smart connection there. Obviously not the best design, but just throw stuff in randomly. And we'll see what happens. So nothing there. Why do I have to... that's only for filtering, isn't it? Interesting. Okay, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, obviously. It has been a long time since I've used AE properly. But yeah, if you wanted, obviously, unlimited channels and the ability to do things still, I assume you can, and just visually on some of the cables it'll show, oh, I've got more than 8. But here it shows that, oh, I've got 8, I've got more than 8, but I can actually still do the following with more channels, obviously not being, more channels being available, but obviously not being restricted to it. So yeah, so let's put a bunch more interfaces and see what happens with dense in comparison here. Obviously it can hold a lot more than the other and see what it visually displays. So let's see. Obviously visual isn't the only thing it does, but it's the best thing I can show since I am not an expert at AE, of course. So let's see, that's not... okay, so that's possibly caught up. Yep, so just keep going. So I don't know how far 32 is, probably about further than this by now. And I guess... Oop, there we go. Oop. I'm going to keep doing that, obviously, because I keep missing in some way. So just stop it about here, for example, and see. Let's take a look. Nothing reaching that far. So, oop, there we go. So eventually, we'll stop it around here-ish, it seems. Or just have... yeah, so it stops around here-ish. So, it seems to be the case, at least. So it's limited, whilst with this one, I can't quite tell as much, I think. There's got too many other connections elsewhere. Whilst that is still 32. Yeah, so that doesn't seem to be the case with this one. Maybe it is possible with dense, but at least for the smart one, it seems like it's fine with displaying more of that and still making a connection somehow. And maybe, I wouldn't say the dense is redundant at this point, but I would say that it still has its, at least visually, it doesn't present it. But it still probably does have its functional benefits. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.